Is this like a redneck runway?
Kind of. Give us a spin.
No good. Oh, well, you know, nothing like a glorious day. One of the guys that works with us just drove by, stopped. You know what he's doing today? Going fishing.
What's that?
What are we doing? Not fishing. Y'all ready?
In our last video, we went through and rolled up the litter in our chicken houses with our new Windrower. A couple people asked, so we're going to do a video knocking it back down.
And like most things in life, if you ask me, I can't tell you what to do, but I can tell you a few things not to do. And when we're leveling this litter down, two important things not to do. Number one, do not put too much litter too close to the wall. And number two, don't leave a hump or a terrace right up under your feed line. We'll kind of show you the reasons why. With a post style house, what we have, we don't have concrete sidewalls, which if you do have concrete sidewalls, it's easier to get that litter back. But with post sidewalls, if you throw too much litter over there and it gets between the posts, unless you want to do it by hand, you're not going to get that litter back. And then if you don't shave enough to start with up under the feed lines, it leaves a small hump. And then when you go to put your feed trays down or turbo feeders, whatever you have, if it's not on level surface, they waste feed and it's just a disaster. So those are two main things that we're concentrating on what not to do.
So real quick, why we windrow our litter. So when we sell our chickens, we don't clean these chicken houses out every single time. It's just not possible. We grow about 7 flocks a year. So we do everything we can to work with this litter, get it in the best condition for the baby chickens. So when we go through and windrow, what we're doing is putting it in these 2 piles like you saw in our last video, and that litter is going to go through a heat cycle. So down here in the litter, it gets really hot. And the purpose of that is we're trying to kill any unwanted pathogens that are in the litter. Our chickens we raise are antibiotic free, so we can't treat our chickens with antibiotics, so we have to be proactive and get rid of anything that may possibly challenge our chickens.
Basically, you just got to get dirty, sweaty, stinky, and make it happen, Captain.
So our process, what we do is we go back through with this windrower and somewhat get it spread out. On the second tractor, we have a hydraulic box blade, and we'll go back through and put the finishing level on with it.
And the icing on the cake is, if we have time, we'll show you. After we do the windrower and the box blade, we finish it off with a piece of old railroad iron. And it does a great job of, if you have a little spot that needs a little leveling down, you can do circles with a railroad iron. I don't recommend anybody going out there and getting you a piece of railroad iron off the railroad. This was just something that was left around a farm where they shut a railroad down umpteen years ago, and that's what we use. First step, get a battery.
Take 2.
Take 2. Shout out to 3M, man. These are some good masks. Ooh, yeah. Those are good masks. You can put different filters here. We run a 2091 dust filter.
This is a COVID and chicken litter.
For those of you that couldn't hear me, he said this is for COVID and chicken litter. He's got jokes this morning. These little ear jobs work good, man. You can listen to music. I usually tone Ben out with it.
I can't hear you.
You don't know if he's air traffic control right now or if we're gonna...
Let's go.
Okay, let's go. So to explain what he's doing here, he's actually splitting the windrow that we rolled up. So his tractor's still on level ground, and the windrow is basically split by the windrower in half, throwing the rest of the part to the center. Like I was talking about earlier, it doesn't matter if you leave a big pile in the center. It's pretty easy to go back and spread that out. And you want plenty to the wall, but you don't want too much. We will actually go back, and this crusting that you see here, once he levels this litter, we'll hand rake that with a pitchfork, pull it away from the wall to about right in this area, and then we'll run the cruster and pick that up, because we don't want any crusting left in the house for baby chickens. Usually this litter gets to, you want it to get at least 130 degrees. Sometimes it can get drastically more. I mean, it can get up to 170, but at that point, it's actually almost turning into charcoal. You're killing good and bad bacteria if it gets up that hot. So you really want to be 130, 140 range, so they say. After seeing that, how much more do you guys like your desk job? I thought so. Yeah! Alright, so here he goes throwing it to the wall, and that's what I was talking about. You can throw as much as you want to, just do not throw it too close to the wall. If he were leaving this pile right here, it would be a disaster. So you are basically a foot and a half from problems if you go too far. Because then when you turn around, you couldn't get that machine over here, and it would kick all that litter in between the post here. I know y'all are tired of the hand signals, but when I'm telling you that, it's because I'm speaking from experience, and it makes for long days if you throw it too far to the wall. Let's go get a little dirty. Don't try this at home. Just for you, YouTube. Oh, that's hot. I'm actually enjoying this little camera duty, because then I can just keep acting like I'm filming, and he actually works for once. So I don't even know if this is recording right now, but he's looking like, you know, it's time to change tractors, and I feel like if I stay engaged that maybe he'll do it himself. He's going for it, guys. Don't look. Yeah, you got it? Appreciate it. I'll just do this, okay? You did that. You just did it. And that, my friends, is when we cut breakers off. I'm not gonna tell him, but I did that when I was crusting. That's one thing we'll show you later on the R. It has, yeah, he about hit the door. So where the roll bar attaches to, he did hit the door actually. Gosh, I wish I filmed that. Sorry, where the roll bar mounts, it's bad on the R about catching stuff. If anything this is hanging down, it'll catch a loop, pull it out. Any of you chicken farmers, you know how that goes. Y'all check out John 10:10. I was reading my devotional this morning. That verse will answer a lot of questions for you. Simple, but to the point. It's the way I like it. Except most of the time I talk too much, like now. John 10:10, go read it. Comment what you think. Now I'm actually afraid that he's gonna ask me to do something. Sorry guys. I'll hand the camera back to boredom.
I finished knocking everything down with a Windrower. So we're gonna get some footage of Eric. He's gonna be running this box blade. So one of the bigger challenges when you're leveling your litter back out is, see, the Windrower, we actually started it back in here, and it's hard to get that litter back to that point, but that's when the railroad iron really comes in handy. We'll go through and we'll drag this around, and Eric will probably try to put a little bit more litter back over in there, but that railroad iron will really help smooth all this out right here. Don't tell Eric, but he's doing a pretty dang good job. Looks pretty good.
Think it'll grow chickens?
We're one step closer. Throwing a little bit of this high dollar off-road fuel in the tractor. Gonna go finish smoothing this litter down. I've got my railroad iron hooked up. So basically there's just two holes on each side. Got some cable running through it, hooked on the arms on the back of the tractor so I can raise it and lower it while I'm in there. I'm gonna take it in there, do some circles, do a couple laps. We don't get real crazy with this. We just kind of knock down some of the ruts and smooth it back out. Really want to get it smooth under those water lines and feed lines, so we'll get that taken care of, and that'll wrap this video up. That wraps it up for leveling our litter. That railroad iron just kind of knocks the edge off any little ruts or anything like that. It helps smooth them out to get this litter as smooth as possible. So we're done cleaning up from the last flock. We'll be starting getting ready for chickens. We've got them coming back in a week from today. So we hope to do another video about how we get ready for chickens. So y'all be sure and tune into that. Eric started cutting some hay today. We'll be having some videos from the hayfield coming up. So there's a lot going on. Thank y'all for watching. Don't forget, click that subscribe button. If you have any questions or any suggestions for our videos, be sure and leave those down in the comment section. Thanks again, and y'all have a good one.